reasons why most individuals fail in their quest for success is because they don't believe in the power of faith in themselves. As I said in part one of this lesson, I'm Tyrone Bowman. Most individuals don't take the time to realize what has been invested in them from the time that they were born. No one is born to be a failure. No one is born to live in poverty. No one is born to become a statistical data, researchers, analyzation of who and what they are, who and what they can be, do, and have. As I said in part one of this lesson, the reason why most individuals don't succeed in life is because they believe in anything, anyone, and everybody but themselves. That's why this inspirational motivational teaching is entitled, The Power of Faith in You. You already have a measure of faith. You have what it takes to succeed. I already have a measure of faith. I have what it takes to succeed. The question is, what will you do with what you have? Most individuals sit by and they gripe, they complain, they whine, and they cry because they think someone has something that they don't have. Ladies and gentlemen, I speak to you very truthfully and very honestly. As an inspirational, motivational teacher, it is my goal, aim, desire, and objective to reach men and women from all walks of life, all faiths, all creeds, all cultures, and to show you factually how you can be, do, and have whatever it is that you desire to be, to do, and to have in this life. Success is not guaranteed, success is earned. It doesn't just happen, you have to work for it. If you're willing to do what it takes, the doors of opportunity will open. If you're willing to sacrifice that time, it'll happen for you. Now I'm going to define once again certain passages of scripture and things that I've studied down through the years. Hopefully it can help some of you. You know, I'm a researcher. I like to take the time to research. I like to take the time to find things out for myself. And then when I find it out for myself and I put it into practice and it works for me, guess what? It'll work for you. I'll give you an example. An athlete cannot succeed athletically if they don't believe in what they're doing. Let me say that again. An athlete cannot succeed athletically and if they don't believe in what they're doing. You can be a basketball player, soccer player, hockey player. You can be a football player. You can be an ice skater. Whatever it is that you desire. You can be a gymnast. If you don't believe that you have on the inside of you what it takes to succeed, then you won't. Negative thinking, speaking, acting, doing people will always tell you what you can't be. They will always tell you what you can't have. They will always tell you that the doors of success is for some people, but it's not for all. You know, I was reading from the book entitled Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. And I want to quote some things in it from the particular chapter on faith. I think it is get yourself a copy of Think and Grow Rich. Either do you want this? Yep, chapter 3. From Think and Grow Rich, and starting with page number 66. These are some of the thoughts and writings and conclusions of, at that time, the world's foremost, what they call motivational speaker, Napoleon Hill. I've read the majority of his books and will continue to study and read more. Now check this out. Quote, "There are millions of people who believe themselves doomed to poverty and failure because of some strange force over which they believe they have no control. They are the creators of their own misfortunes because of this negative belief, which is picked up by the subconscious mind and translated into its physical equivalent. Now, let me break that down in everyday language. What you think inside here in your mind is how you determine what you're going to do in this life. If you think you can't do it, you won't. If you think you're defeated, you are. You know, Muhammad Ali, on one occasion when he was interviewed, he said he wasn't the biggest and he wasn't the strongest, but he was fast. He was quick. He said, but there's one thing that he learned how to do, and that was how to psychologically defeat his opponent. What did Muhammad Ali mean by that? Simple. He got inside their head even before the boxing match started by taunting them, ridiculing them, trash talking them. Sugar Ray Leonard imitated and emulated Muhammad Ali. So by trash talking his opponents, by the time they got into the ring, they were so angry and so mad by the things that he said until it threw them off their game plan and they couldn't succeed. So really, they beat themselves. All he did was show up for the victory. And in many instances, it wasn't easy for him. So, Napoleon Hill said, quoting, "This is an appropriate place at which to suggest again that you may benefit." He said, by passing on to your subconscious mind any desire which you wish translated into its physical or monetary equivalent in a state of expectancy or belief. That is true. That is a fact. I said that is true. That is a stipulated fact. According to the book of Hebrews, the 11th chapter, and I'm going to break it down in several verses. You know, Jesus, the Christ, the Messiah, the master teacher, on several occasions said this, things of this nature: have faith in God, according to your faith, etc. Let me ask you something. What are you going to do with the faith that you have? Do you know that you already have a measure of faith? How do you know that, Tyrone? Well, the book of Romans in the 12th chapter, in the latter portion of the third verse said this, and I quote, "See, it is my job and responsibility to inspire and to motivate men and women to the point where they will take what they hear and what they learn and use it." You can't get that new home if you don't have faith. You can't get that new car if you don't have faith. It's one thing to have faith in God, but do you have faith in you? Do you have faith in what God put in you? Romans, the 12th chapter, in the latter portion says, God hath dealt to every man the measure of faith. That's the 12th chapter in the third verse and the latter portion, meaning every human being has been given, dispensed, apportioned, doled out, in our language, a certain amount of faith. So you can't tell God that you don't have it when you do. Most people won't use their faith, but you have it. Well, is it going to be easy? Sometimes yes, sometimes no. Just like what I do, some days it's easy, some days it's hard, but I don't stop. I keep on doing it. I keep on, and I keep on. Why? Because there are thousands upon thousands of people who have lost hope. They've given up on life. They've checked out mentally. They've checked out psychologically. The pressures, the wear, the tear, the constant grind to get the bills paid. They've given up. They've quit. They surrendered. And when the individuals do that, you know what they do? They begin to do destructive things. They have all types of vices that can get them caught up and send them down the wrong path and make life hard for themselves and for their family. They say, well, you know, man, dog, I was stressed out. I had a long, hard day. So do millions of people. Do you not think that the single mother who works at McDonald's to take care of her children, she's working those long shifts, and you come to the drive-through where she is, and you may be her 300th customer of the day, and you wonder why she appears to be irritated and tired, because you weren't there when the 299 customers who came before you. Oftentimes think about my brothers and sisters and people that work in Walmart. When you go in Walmart, we see them, many times they're scurrying, they're busy, they're doing a whole lot of different things, and individuals take it for granted. This is somebody's son, somebody's daughter, somebody's mother, somebody's grandmother, somebody's grandfather. They're stressed out. They're working hours upon hours upon hours. I was just reading the article before I came on live tonight that Amazon is planning on firing, or whatever they want to call it, downsizing, restructuring. They always come up with these fancy terms, but the bottom line is they're firing people. 18,000 people are poised to lose their jobs. That's 18,000 men and women who can't make rent. 18,000 men and women who can't pay the utilities. 18,000 men and women who are depending upon that job. That's why seasonal employment can be a dangerous thing sometimes. It's quick cash, quick money, but it's not longevity. Find what you're good at. I need to take a quick break, and I'll be right back. This is Inspirational Teaching with Tyrone Bowman, live on Tyrone Bowman Tonight. And we're back live. Thank you for being patient. I work at a radio station, believe it or not, as a broadcaster, commentator, producer, and I'm doing a lot of stuff. I'm back here in this makeshift studio while the new studio gets ready. Now let's get back to this teaching, the power of faith in you. What does the word power mean? Authority. Dunamis. Dunamis is a Greek term meaning power. You have power within you, or authority within you, to make your faith work. I'll say that again. You have dunamis, or you have power, or you have authority within you. Society doesn't care about the hardships and the problems, the trials and the tests that you and I go through every day. They don't care that the home life is not the way that we want it to be. We go to the store to make our purchases and things of that nature. The bottom line is either we got the money to pay for it or we don't. I'm telling you, don't give up on your dream. Don't give up on your vision. Don't give up on your goals. Don't give up on your plans. Don't give up, especially on your childhood dreams that you had that seemingly they lie dormant on the inside of you because of life. Life is filled with uncertainty. Life is filled with trials, tests, heartache, and pain. But you and I still have divine DNA of God's faith in us. And it will work if you work it. I said it will work if you work it. Start believing in a healthy, positive way in the faith that you have already in you. Now, let's break some stuff down. So that was one. Number two, the book of Hebrews says, and I like to use everyday circumstances and things to get a point across, an illustration, if you please. You know, many times people wonder, how can some people succeed and others can't? The reason is this: some people willing to sacrifice all to be able to get what they desire. When Ebony Magazine and Jet Magazine was founded by John H. Johnson in 1945, I talked about this in an earlier video. I even recommended the book in one of my short videos for people to buy. It's called Succeeding Against the Odds by the late John H. Johnson, the founder of Ebony Magazine. And Mr. Johnson was a black man who came from the rural, segregated Jim Crow South. In 1945, his mother moved him to Chicago for a better life. And he had a dream of starting a black publishing company, which was unheard of, because he wanted to focus on the positive side of everyday black life. He went to a bank. This is a true story. I'm not making this up. I got the book on the other side there. Let's see if I can reach it. Maybe I can. Pardon me. Yep, I can reach it. Here it is right here. See that book? There it is. Succeeding Against the Odds by John H. Johnson. I know the glare of the light's making it hard, but go to my YouTube page. You'll find it. Go to my YouTube shorts. It's right on there. So Mr. Johnson went to his mother after the white bank turned him down. He went to his mother and told his mother about his dream that he had. And his mother had just bought some furniture, so he asked her, could he pawn it? Could he huck it? And he got $500 for it. That $500 was the initial seed money, or the investment money, or the capital money. Stop thinking that all these other people are so brilliant and so smart and they have much more going on. No, they don't. They're ordinary people just like you and me. They sit down, they talk to each other, they negotiate, they ponder. They convince people to invest in their dream or their vision and show them how, somewhere along the line, that they can make a profit from investing in them. And when Mr. Johnson founded his publishing company, John H. Johnson Publishing Company, he started with the first magazine was called The Negro's Digest. Then they changed it, he wanted to call it Black. His wife said, no, call it something else. So he called it Ebony. Ebony means black. Called it Ebony Magazine. And in every black household around America, there are two things that they had: a Jet Magazine and an Ebony Magazine. Y'all know I'm telling the truth. Jet and Ebony was always on the coffee table. Then came Essence. Then came Black Enterprise. I'll talk about that in another teaching. But for tonight, just trying to show you how your faith can move mountains. Your faith can open up doors that you thought could never open. Stop believing in a lucky charm and a rabbit's foot and all this other silly stuff that society tells you about, and Cupid and all that silly garbage. There's no such thing as Cupid. It's a Greek legend. But your invisible, intangible faith, and you know when you have it because you can feel it. Just like people know when they have doubt, they can feel that too. So he started his magazine company, and it grew and it grew and it grew to the tune of making $500 million a year, employing over 3,000 people. It became the #1 black publishing company in the world. Then they had the Ebony Fashion Fair. They had Ebony Cosmetics, radio stations, television stations. Mr. Johnson built an empire, all from a dream. from having faith, not just in his God, but in himself. If I can leave you with anything tonight, I didn't get to the scriptures part. I'll get to that in the next lesson. If I can leave you with anything tonight, it's going to be this. Start believing in what you have inside of you. You don't have to be extraordinary. You don't have to bleach your skin to death and to try to make yourself look like something and somebody that you're not. Start believing in what you have inside of you. Our heritage is great. Our ancestry is great. Our culture is great. And I'm tired of everybody always putting us down. Well, that day and that time is over, because I'm not going to let it happen anymore. I'm going to continue to find the greatness of our culture, the greatness of our history, the greatness of our sojourning in this land. I'm telling you tonight, you have what it takes to succeed. Don't tell yourself that your faith won't work. I'm telling you, the faith that you have will work if you're willing to work it. What is your dream? What is your goal? I was talking to a friend of mine a few days ago, and they were lamenting and telling me what they couldn't do. I said, well, why can't you do it? Just like you say you can't do it, start saying that you can do it. Some people need to go back to reading that children's little book, The Little Engine That Could. People took it as a joke when they were a child. And the main crux of the book was, I think I can. I think I can. It went from I think I can into I know I can. I know you can do it. I know you can be your unique, original self. And faith doesn't care what color you are. Faith doesn't care any. Faith is a powerful word. If faith doesn't care about your religion, it says, now this translation of scripture says in the NIV, now faith is confidence in what we hope for and assurance about what we do not see. Now faith is, for the ESV or the English Standard Version, now faith is the assurance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. What do you desire? And this is something that a lot of people don't understand either. Just because somebody does not like you does not mean that they can stop you from succeeding. Sometimes it's better not to be liked and prove your enemies wrong. All you have to do is succeed, and your enemies will come find you. You don't have to find them. They'll come and find you. Because once you start succeeding, guess what? Every door will open for you. There's a quote, a little quote I found in this book, Think and Grow Rich. Thank you to those of you that have been popping in and out. I appreciate that. But there's a little quote here, and thank you for those who are staying with me. Because the power of faith in you will work even when you don't think it's working. You know, when I go to bed at night, I'm going to let you in on a little secret, maybe it'll help you. When I go to bed at night, you know what I do? I listen to motivational affirmations. I listen to books at night so I can get into my subconscious mind. I listen to scriptures at night. And I drift off to sleep. Sometimes I get home very late at night and I'm very exhausted and tired. And I just lay down and I play it softly in the background. Find someone who you really like and find out about their story. Find out about how they did it. Now, these are two quotes from Napoleon Hill, and I'm going to leave you with this. One, there are no limitations to the mind except those we acknowledge. There are no limitations to the mind except those we acknowledge. When you say you can't do it, you won't. When you say you can't succeed, you don't. When you tell yourself that you're defeated, you are. That's why my personal motto is never surrender, never quit. The second affirmation, both poverty and riches are the offspring of thought. Both poverty and riches are the offspring of thought. What you think is what you become. What you think is what you do. If you don't think this is true, analyze this right now. How many times did you and I sit down and think about every word that we were going to speak before we said it? And then we said it. How many times when we were interested in someone, we thought in our minds how to phrase it the right way, without sounding stupid. Let's just be honest with ourselves. How many times did we believe in dumb stuff and found out in the end it wasn't worth believing in at all because it didn't produce anything? The power of faith in you. And really, let me break it down and take a little further. Not only is it the power of faith in you, but it's the power of God's faith in you because he gave it to you and he gave it to me. What will you do with what you have? I had one great mentor in my life when I started out in the world of broadcasting. And I'll talk about him in the next inspirational, motivational teaching. I'm Tyrone Bowman. Never surrender, never quit.